Actually, the UFC has released a new series on their YouTube channel called the UFC Rankings Report with Frank Mir and I guess someone on the UFC's web team. And Frank Mir kept calling him Mike Bisping. And it's like, it's Michael, not Mike.
Well, at least he didn't say the Count Mike Bisping.
This fight's very interesting. It could go either way, in my opinion, but I have to give the nod to Rockhold on this one. But I think beating Bisping won't really improve his standing. As far as some people are thinking, well, he beats Bisping, he's going to jump 3 spots. No. Bisping is not the fighter he once was.
Well, he's got the eye problem. He's had the recurring detached retina eye problem, which, it's kind of amazing he still fights at all given that history.
I think when it comes to Rockhold, he has everything to lose and nothing to gain with this fight. Yes, he wants to shut Bisping up, I get that. But as far as him advancing in that division, a win here, unless it's like 30 seconds, knockout viciously, it won't do much to improve his standing because that division's pretty stacked as it is.
I was about to say, what exactly do you expect him to gain? I mean, how is he going to propel himself up to the upper ranks when he's fighting a lower card fighter to begin with? I mean, Bisping is number 9, Rockhold is number 5, so you would expect the guy ranked ahead of him to win. Not that that always happens. And as Jake Ellenberger said himself when I interviewed him, rankings don't necessarily matter. It's just two guys getting in a cage. So you look at it that way, you're right. It's probably nothing to gain for Rockhold, but at the same time, if you're given a fight where you throw out the rankings, you throw out everything else, you just got to make a statement and say, I want to get a title shot one of these days. I'll beat this guy impressively. That'll remind them that I'm waiting.
If Rockhold wins, does it put him ahead of Machida? No. But if Bisping wins, he definitely goes ahead of Mousasi and maybe even Kennedy in the rankings.
I'd put him ahead of Yoel Romero if he beats Luke Rockhold. I'd be happy to do that.
Really?
Yeah. He doesn't really impress me. The guy is way up there in age. He's got a limited skill set, and he's a cheater.
You're going to go out and say that he's a cheater?
The guy blatantly refused to get off his stool and got an extra minute. We don't have to go over this again, do we?
No, I know, but you're just going to flat out call him a cheater for that.
It's my opinion. I said far worse on the day of the fight. Me calling him a cheater actually tones it down from some of the verbiage I used.
Oh, a few F-bombs I'm sure were dropped.
I was not happy that night.
That fight against Tim Kennedy, that was the fight of the night back on September 27th. So, I mean, he's on a 5-fight win streak now. I mean, what do you do with him next? Romero, I mean,
well,
do you put him...
you probably put him against Rockhold if Rockhold beats Bisping.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then that's the kind of fight where, you beat the guy that's right next in line behind you and you do it in an impressive way, then you might vault over Lyoto Machida.
What if you put Romero against Machida?
Man, I think Romero would get eaten alive in that fight. I don't know if that's a good fight to make.
Mm-hmm.
Because Machida, you know how crafty he is. He would never let Romero get a hand on him.
That's true. Are you picking Rockhold in this fight?
Yeah, I'm picking Rockhold.
All right, let's move on to the semi-main event with Ross Pearson against Ali Iaquinta. I'm going to go with Pearson. I think he's climbing up that ladder, and, Iaquinta... You got to give him some respect. 4 wins in his last 5 fights. He's doing pretty well. I get that, but I just have this gut feeling that Pearson's going to get out a victory. I think this fight will go to the judges, 29-28 Pearson.
And I think he showed us something new in his fight with Rodrigo Dam. Going and finishing Dam, who is a very tough, durable, long-time fighter. I give all the respect in the world to Iaquinta, but Pearson, I mean, you're right. There's a different level when you're talking about the real deal. And even though his record is a little more spotty than Iaquinta's in his last 5 fights, this guy has true finishing power. He's a one-punch knockout kind of fighter.
Exactly. For those who don't remember him, he was an Ultimate Fighter alum and
won the Ultimate Fighter 9.
What's that?
Fighter 9.
It's an Ultimate Fighter, but it's funny, you're going to have a former coach versus a former fighter. Do you think the winner of this fight between Iaquinta and Pearson, does that have any effect on the lightweight rankings at all?
Why don't you call in Frank Mir and whoever his co-host is?
I'm looking at the lightweight ones right now. To get into there, you have Nate Diaz at 14 and Kabalov at 15. Masvidal is 13. So, I mean, even to crack the top 15 is going to be hard.
Right. Well, the lightweight is about the most stacked division in UFC, so
I wouldn't say the most stacked, but it's up there.
I said one of the.
One of the.
It's been a long time mainstay of talent depth, and when they combined in other, when they merged with other promotions like WEC, it only got deeper.
Exactly. Absolutely. I agree with that. What about Clinton Hester against Robert Whittaker?
I guess it depends on who shows up and how they show up. I'm kind of actually waiting for the weigh-ins because, Clint Hester's on a roll, but he also has a very big, muscular type frame. And if he comes in heavy and doesn't make the weight, that could be bad news for his cardio. Whereas
I think it depends on what time he arrives in Australia, though. I mean, if he's there for a few weeks, it should be fine. But if he flies in the week of, I mean, we've seen that happen before. Fighters come in thinking they can, the flight won't matter to me, and they show up and they're gassed in the first 3 minutes.
Right. Well, if Hester is well prepared, gets there early, has had a good cut getting up to the fight, he'll probably win this because Whittaker, I mean, I know he won tough smashes. I know he's got that feather in his cap, but he's lost 2 out of his last 3, and I don't feel like Whittaker has ever really lived up to his hype.
Win Ultimate Fighter is another to build off that. I mean, you can go the way of, Forrest Griffin, or you can go the way of some other fighters who can't quite crack the UFC after winning,
Yeah, I hear you.
What about Walt Harris and Sao Palea?
I expect the Hulk to smash him.
Hulk smash.
Exactly. I couldn't resist that. Come on.
No, that's true. It's, it could be almost a fight of the night.
Wait a minute. How's it going to be the fight of the night when it's not even going to go 1 round?
Well, I was
Usually your fight of the night is a war where 2 people beat the crap out of each other.
You think it's a one-sided butt kicking here, though?
I think Sopalea finishes him quick.
Wow. Okay. Maybe he'll get a performance bonus?
Yeah, that I could see.
Okay. Looking at the prelims, Smiling Sam Alvey against Dylan Andrews. That should be good.
Yeah, Anthony Feroce and Gucho Inocenc. That should be good.
Jake Matthews, Wagner Roca.
Vic Grujic from Tough Nations is on there.
Yeah, Chris Clements, though. That's oof. That's a tough draw.
Yeah, Vasilik's on there too, so they've got a good card.
Marcus Brimage is the first fight on the prelims that start at 7:30 against Jimabiki Chiksarum. But Marcus Brimage, that's a good name. I'm surprised it's the first fight, though.
Now, you say it starts at 7:30. You mean Friday night at 7:30, right?
Yeah, sorry, Friday night at 7:30.
Yeah, we don't want people to get confused because this is on Australian time, so it's actually way earlier than you're used to watching fights.
Well, on the Fight Pass, it says Fight Pass 7:30 p.m. Eastern, so I don't know if they're going to have a live version and a 7:30.
No, if the prelims start at 7:30, the live fights are going to go from 7:30 till like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah. There you go. Well, it says the main card starts at 10, so we should be fine.